We're in the busiest part of hurricane season, and now is as good a time as any to make sure you have the right protection in place if a storm were to hit, especially as we approach National Preparedness Day, which will be on September 30th. Joining us to go in depth on this, we have Dr. Knabb, the National Hurricane Center, and Leslie Chapman-Henderson, President and CEO of the Federal Alliance for Safe Homes. Thank you both for joining us today. Dr. Knabb, a lot of people, especially here in Florida, they don't get concerned unless a tropical system is going to directly hit their area. What type of damage can people expect, even if they're not directly in the storm's path?
Right. Well, storms are not just points on the map. Especially the larger ones can affect you in a variety of ways, and you can experience wind, water, or both in a tropical storm or hurricane, even if the center of circulation passes far from you. And so we don't want people to hang their hats too much on counting on the system going far enough away from you to not have impacts. And we don't want people to count on hope that a storm or hurricane that does occur with the remainder of hurricane season just misses you. There's plenty of time left in the hurricane season, unfortunately, that we all have to be prepared in advance and do the things today if we didn't do them at the beginning of hurricane season, so we can survive the storm and recover in the aftermath.
And it has been active already this year here in Florida, looking back on Hermine. Leslie, Florida saw a lot of flooding then. What advice do you have for people who live in areas that may not necessarily be flood prone? Should they get flood insurance?
Well, you know, anywhere it can rain, it can flood. And it's not a question of whether or not you have risk. It's just a matter of how much, low, moderate, or high. We recommend that everybody have flood insurance. I mean, look at Florida. Here we are, a peninsula. And the thing about flood insurance is you can't get it at the last minute. There's a 30-day waiting period for flood insurance. And if you think about it in advance, you can have that protection. The other thing about it is 20% of all the claims come well outside the high-risk area, Maureen. It's low risk areas that have the 20% claims, and in those places, the policy is very affordable. Those investments, I think my policy in Tallahassee, and I'm in a low risk area, is about $1 a day, which is a great amount, and it gives me peace of mind. As Hermine was coming and dumping all that rain, I wasn't worried because I knew we had that flood protection, even though we're outside of a zone.
And what's the best way for people to find out what their policies cover, whether it's their home or business insurance?
Well, where I've gone is my insurance agent, but also go to ready.gov, go to flash.org. There are so many different resources you can avail yourself of, but go to your insurance agent directly.
Right, and if you contact your company, you can get that checkup, and it's really important that you look at your specific policy. There are coverages there that are unique to you. Some of them are general, but the best way to find out is to look at your policy. For example, during Hermine, some people forgot that there's food spoilage coverage. You don't even have a deductible there. So if the power went out like it did in Tallahassee, your food spoiled, you have up to $500 in protection to get that food back into the freezer and the fridge. Also, tree fall was a big thing in the recent event, and people were confused. Is it covered if it hits my car? Yes, if you have comprehensive. So you have to look at your policy. Is it covered if it doesn't hit my house? Typically, no. But all those mysteries can be solved with an insurance checkup, and that's what we're here to remind everyone. Safety first. Right behind that, you have to have financial protection, and the insurance policy is your key to having that protection.
This is great advice considering we still have 2 months to go of Atlantic hurricane season and things are pretty active out there right now. Leslie and Dr. Knabb, thanks so much.
Thank you, Maureen.
Thank you, Maureen.